Hi everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome to another What I Eat in a Day video. If you're new here, I follow the Weight Watchers program. I get 23 points a day and 28 weeklies, but I also share calories on my channel as well. So let's jump right into my day where I'll show you my full day of eating. All right, it's a little bit dark right now because it's really early in the morning, and I woke up this morning really hungry, so I'm making a breakfast, and then I'll probably end up having kind of like a second breakfast or snack when I get to work. So I'm just gonna whip up an omelet real quick. I'm gonna use these keto-friendly wraps. I'm gonna kind of make the omelet and put it on these wraps. These I got from Aldi. They're 2 points, and they are only 60 calories for a wrap. There's 13 grams of carbs in them, but it's 13 grams of fiber. So for those of you watching your net carbs, these would be 0 net carbs. And they really don't open good along the perforated line. So I'm just gonna, I've got a pan over here. I'm just gonna kind of just cook that a little bit on each side. So because I am really shooting for about 130 grams of protein a day, I've been keeping an eye again on my protein. Just something I've personally worked out with my doctor. So like I always say, you find what works for you, work with your doctor, your dietitian. Don't follow what other people do on social media. All right, so I have 2 eggs in there, and then I'm also gonna add, it's 3 tablespoons is 46 grams. Sorry, I know it's really dark in here. I'm gonna do 6 tablespoons. So it's gonna bump the protein up 10 more grams. So you have 12 grams of protein in 2 eggs plus the 10. So that's gonna make this 22 grams of protein so far. So I'm gonna do, so it's gonna be 92. Okay, we did 94, that's okay. I've also got just a handful of spinach that I'm gonna toss in there. So I'm just gonna cut that up. I also have a slice of ham here. This is the breakfast ham slices from Aldi. For these, it's 1 point per slice or 60 calories. 2 ounces is 56 grams. This piece actually weighed out at 58 grams. So the 1 serving is pretty close to 1 slice. But this also has 9 grams of protein in it. So I'm just gonna kind of chop that up. And I'm just gonna plop this in my pan first, because I do like to get this cooking. I like the ham to be a little bit cooked. So I'll plop that in my pan, and then I'll add the eggs. And the other thing I'm going to add to it is a ½ ounce of this feta. For this, it's 2 points for 1 ounce. I'm only going to use a ½ ounce. And for the ½ ounce, it will be 30 calories. And this will give it another 2.5 grams of protein. So what I usually do with this is 8 ounces. So I just kind of, when I get it, I just cut it into blocks. And I make 16 little pieces, and then I know that's about a ½ ounce. So I'm just going to pull one of those out of there. And I'll just crumble that on the eggs. Hopefully that lighting's a little better for you. So my omelet kind of tore apart. And then I thought about cooking up a little bit of potatoes to go with it, but I think this is gonna fill me just fine. So that is my, I don't know, omelet wrap, I guess you could call it. So this comes out to 4 points on Weight Watchers. It is only 286 calories and 34 grams of protein. If you're new to my channel, please make sure to read the disclaimer down in the description box about what I eat in a day videos and how you shouldn't really copy what people eat and how we're all different. So one thing to keep in mind, I'm 51 years old. I am only 4'11 3/4, so my needs may be completely different than yours. So just make sure to read that disclaimer and work with your own doctor or your own dietitian to find what works for you. Okay, so I'm having, I don't know, I guess you could call it a second breakfast slash breakfast snack, whatever. I'm having some good cultured cottage cheese with raspberries and blueberries, and also half of this protein shake, Premier Protein. This is the cafe latte kind. I'm just gonna have half of it though, and then I'll save the other half for either later or else tomorrow. So I have 150 grams of cottage cheese here. So it's 3 points for the cottage cheese, 0 for the raspberries and blueberries, and then 1 point for the half of the shake. So this is a 4-point breakfast snack, whatever you call it. And then for calories, it's only 215 calories, and it has 35 grams of protein in all this. Okay, for lunch today, I have a tuna sandwich and then a side of carrots and some of the ranch yogurt dressing. The dressing that I use is just the Bolthouse Farms Classic Ranch. For this kind, it's only 1 point per tablespoon and only 50 calories per 2 tablespoons. I just used the skipjack tuna from Aldi. I love this kind. It's 110 calories for the whole container, but this one has 25 grams of protein, so that's why I love this one. And 0 points on Weight Watchers. I add in 2 tablespoons of Hellmann's light mayonnaise to that. For this, it's 1 point per tablespoon or 3 points for 2 tablespoons. So I take 3 points for this. I add in 2 tablespoons of that. And then I also sometimes add in some olives. So today I added in 6 of these manzanilla olives from Aldi. And for the bread, I use the 100% whole wheat from Aldi. For this, it's 1 point per slice. And then for the calories, it's 60 calories per slice. So for the entire sandwich, it's 6 points, 2 for the bread, 3 for the mayonnaise, and 1 for the olives. So 6 points and 320 calories. And then for the carrots, I have about 100 grams of carrots, so that's about 40 calories. And then for the dressing, I don't always eat the full tablespoon, so it really just depends. If I eat the full 2 tablespoons, then it's going to be 2 points for the dressing, 0 for the carrots, and then a total of about 90 calories. So if I eat the whole 2 tablespoons, and this will be a total of 8 points for the entire lunch, and then it will be about 410 calories for everything. Usually what I end up doing, I get pretty full from the sandwich, so sometimes I don't always eat all the carrots and yogurt, so I usually save those, and that's kind of what I have for my afternoon snack. I don't normally, when I have this type of lunch, I don't normally eat anything before dinner. Okay, dinner is going in, super easy dinner. So I had, man, this lighting, it's nighttime now, and again, it's dark. So I had my cedar plank soaking all day. I just soaked it in my sink in some water. And then I've got my salmon on there. These salmon are about 5-ounce pieces, and I cut the skins off the bottom already. So all I've seasoned them with is just some salt, some pepper, and a little bit of Old Bay seasoning. And then I have here just some broccoli and asparagus. I sprayed both of them with a little bit of cooking spray, and then I've got just some salt and pepper on these. Sometimes I'll add some Parmesan. Haven't decided. I might sprinkle it with some Parmesan. I haven't quite decided, but I am going to put some lemon over the top of the salmon when it's done, and a lot of times when I do that, I also like to just squirt some lemon over my broccoli and asparagus as well. So these are going in a 375-degree oven for... These ones are not super thick, so I'm going to say these are probably only going to take about 15 minutes, but 375 degrees for anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes, depending on the thickness of your salmon. And then, of course, your broccoli just depends on how tender you like it. So these are cedar grilling planks. I love these to make salmon. We've honestly been making salmon on these lately quite often. They're so easy to do. You just, there's actually 2 planks in here. We get these from Walmart. I think they're maybe like around $6. There's 2 planks in there, so all you do is take them out and soak them in water for a minimum of 1 to 2 hours. What I usually do though is just put them in my sink before I head to work. It says you can leave them overnight, so instead of overnight, I just leave them during the day while I'm at work. And then you can either do them on the grill or in the oven. So I'm doing them, we prefer them on the grill, but it gets dark so early now, so I usually do these in the oven. But it shows different options for me. I've never tried anything else on it besides salmon, but I'm thinking I'm going to try some chicken on it soon. So we're just going to have some of this garden vegetable ready rice with the salmon. And usually we do the, I think it's called wild, whole grain and wild or something, but I thought I had some of that, but I don't have any in there. So we're just going to use this garden vegetable. You can have half a cup for 3 points. And if you're counting calories, for half a cup would be 100 calories, 200 calories for 1 cup. So I did decide I'm going to use some Parmesan. So here I have 10 grams, which is 4 teaspoons. I'm going to split it. It's going to be half for me, half for my husband. So this will be 1 point for the 2 teaspoons that I'm going to use. And for 2 teaspoons, it's 20 calories. So for my entire dinner on Weight Watchers is going to be 4 points. It's 3 points for the rice, 1 point for the Parmesan. The salmon is 0, the broccoli is 0, and the asparagus is 0. I didn't end up using any oil. I just used some cooking spray, so I didn't have to count oil. So a 4-point dinner on Weight Watchers. And if you're counting calories, this ended up coming up to 505 calories for the entire thing. I had a 5-ounce portion of the salmon, so that's where I get 300 of the calories for that. Actually, it's about 310 calories for that 5-ounce portion. So 505 calories, and for protein, it was 39 grams of protein. I am ending my night with one of these Yasso Greek yogurt bars. These are so good. They're 3 points on Weight Watchers and 80 calories if you're counting calories. And if you're counting your protein, these have 5 grams of protein in each bar. These are kind of what they look like. They kind of melted a little bit. I had them delivered and I didn't get them put in my freezer right away, so they kind of lost their shape a little bit. They're supposed to look like a regular fudge bar, and the lighting in here is so bad. So that's the size of them. They're really good though. I love these things. So again, 3 points and 80 calories. All right, it is 8 o'clock at night and I'm getting my coffee set for morning and realized that I never showed you my coffee this morning. So if you've followed me for some time, you know pretty much how I do my coffee every morning. Very basic. So I have a Yeti that I take to work with me. This fits about 2 cups of coffee in it. I use usually just some Splenda sweetener and also this Coffee Mate. This is the 0 sugar French vanilla. And I usually put about, well, I weigh it out and I do about 60 milliliters, which is about 4 tablespoons in this entire Yeti. So I count that as 2 points on Weight Watchers and 60 calories. All right, so my points for the day. Today I used 25 out of 23, so that means I did use 2 of my weeklies. And then for calories, I ended up with 1,568 calories and 148 grams of protein. And one thing that I don't show is my water. I usually get around 10 glasses of water a day. I pretty much just drink water all day long. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.